Have you ever stood over a golf ball, club in hand, and just felt that familiar dread?
Oh, yeah.
You've put in the practice, maybe you've even taken a lesson or two, but those wild shots, the slices, the hooks, uh, the dreaded fat shots, they still creep in, right?
It happens to everyone.
And you start thinking, can I really fix this swing? Am I
Mm.
just stuck fighting my natural tendencies forever? Is trying to relearn this new move actually harder than it seems?
Or maybe you're wondering, should I bother with more lessons? And how do I practice so I actually, see some lasting improvement?
Exactly. It's the question every golfer asks, isn't it? Because a swing isn't just one thing.
No, it's a whole sequence. And what works for your irons might totally wreck your driver game, or vice versa. Fixing one thing can sometimes, yeah, create another problem.
Right. So today, our mission on the deep dive is to tackle exactly that. Can your swing truly be fixed? Just how tough is it to unlearn those old habits and maybe learn some new ones?
And we've dug into it quite a bit, articles, expert video lessons, even some wisdom from golf legends.
Yeah, to pull out the most practical, actionable advice we could find. Stuff that addresses these exact questions and helps you understand your own swing a bit better.
We'll look at some foundational fixes for common mistakes, really break down why hitting irons and drivers are, well, different beasts.
And then we'll get into the mindset, the practice habits of guys who really made changes happen, see how they did it.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Let's start with the foundations of a better swing. Because honestly, especially with irons, sometimes seemingly small tweaks can make a huge difference. We found some expert advice pinpointing common backswing flaws.
Yeah, and one of the big ones, definitely for irons, is too much sway in the backswing.
Ah, the sway. Tell us about that.
Well, the problem is, as the golfer takes the club back, their upper body, their weight, it shifts too far behind the ball.
So for a righty, that's too much weight on the right leg.
Exactly. And the result, you often hit the ground before the ball.
Ugh, the fat shot.
Yeah, those terrible strikes. You lose tons of distance. It's frustrating.
It really is. It feels awful. So the advice is always stay centered. But why is that so hard? Even when you know you shouldn't sway, it happens. Is there a specific feel that helps?
That's a great point. Because just thinking stay centered can feel, well, restrictive or unnatural at first. Your instinct is often to shift away to generate power.
Right.
So the fix is stay centered. But the feel is the key part. Try imagining a line, say, from the middle of your chest, your sternum, straight down to the middle of your stance.
All right.
Your goal is to rotate, to turn around that central point. Keep your chest feeling like it's more over the golf ball during the backswing.
Aim for the ball.
Yeah, that helps ensure you hit the ball first, then the ground. So the feeling is less about stopping sway and more about starting the backswing with a turn around your spine, not a shift away from the ball.
Okay, turning versus shifting. That's a really useful distinction. Makes sense. All right, what's the second common iron mistake?
The second one we see a lot is not enough width in the backswing,
Width.
meaning the arms stay too close to the body during the takeaway. A lot of golfers may be trying to control the club, keep things too tight, too tucked in.
Yeah, I felt that. Like my arms are glued to my ribs or something.
Right, and the result is a cramped swing. It lacks leverage, it lacks arc, and fundamentally, it lacks power and distance.
So how do you create that width without feeling like your arms are just flying off on their own? What's the sensation?
Well, you need to actively create that width. As the club moves away from the ball, get the sensation that your arms, your hands, the club itself, they're stretching away from your body,
Stretching away.
almost pushing straight back initially. It's not about disconnecting, but feeling that extension.
Yeah.
If you push the club straight back while keeping that center body position we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
you create more tension, a more powerful coil at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And that tension, that translates directly into more club head speed, more power. You hit the ball further. Simple as that.
More power, more distance. Yes, please. Okay, what's number 3 on the list of iron backswing blunders?
The third one, and this one gets missed quite a bit, is neglecting the shoulder turn or the shoulder plane.
Okay, plane. What does that mean exactly?
It means many golfers let their shoulders turn too, flat at, too level in the backswing. For a righty, the left shoulder doesn't drop down enough.
And what does that cause?
Well, sometimes you lose sight of the ball. And often, it forces you to compensate on the way down, maybe leaning your hips forward too much. It leads to poor direction, inconsistent strikes, just messy shots.
So it's not just how much you turn, but the angle of the turn?
Yeah.
Is that hard to feel, or is it more about getting the setup right first?
It's definitely a mix, but setup is huge here. The key idea is focusing on your shoulder plane turning downwards. At the top, your left shoulder should be noticeably lower than your right.
Lower. Sure.
But, and this is crucial, there's a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Good posture at address. You need your bum slightly out, a little flex in the knees, a nice forward tilt from your upper body.
Right, the athletic setup.
Exactly. That posture allows the left shoulder to drop down more naturally as you turn. It promotes swinging more on plane.
Keeping the club on that optimal path.
Precisely. Which leads to straighter, more consistent shots with fewer frantic mid-swing fixes.
These fundamental tweaks for irons really show how focusing on that first move back can clean up so much. Okay, let's switch gears. This is a big one for so many golfers, myself included sometimes. Why am I decent with my irons but just awful with my driver? Or, the other way around.
Ah, yes, the classic iron driver split personality.
Totally. And it really highlights that these clubs aren't meant to be swung the same way, right? It's like, as you said, different tools for different jobs.
It's a perfect analogy and a critical point many golfers overlook. One expert we looked at, Eric Kagoro, really emphasizes how the differences start right at the setup.
Okay, setup, let's break that down. Irons first.
Right. With an iron, say a mid-iron, like an 8-iron, the ball position is more in the middle of your stance, maybe on your left ear if you're right-handed.
Middle, okay.
Your weight, more on your front foot, your left side, maybe 70-30. Why? To encourage hitting down on the ball, a descending blow.
Right, compress the ball.
Exactly. The club handle is slightly ahead of the ball. Shoulders are mostly level, maybe the right one just a touch lower because of how your hands grip the club.
Yeah.
Your head is more over the ball, kind of covering it.
And the goal.
Hit down, ball first, then take a small divot after the ball.
Okay, that paints a clear picture for irons. Downward strike, ball, then turf. But the driver, that feels like a completely different universe sometimes. If I try that downward hit with my driver, it's pop-ups or massive slices.
It absolutely is a different universe. For the driver, the setup is totally distinct. Ball position, way more forward, inside your left heel usually.
Forward, got it.
Weight distribution,
Yeah.
more balanced. Think 50-50, maybe even slightly favoring the back foot for some.
Okay.
Shoulder tilt, this is a big one. Significant tilt. Your right shoulder is noticeably lower than your left.
Way lower.
Yeah. And, crucially, your head position is behind the ball, not over it.
Behind it.
Yeah.
And the goal here is obviously different too.
Completely. With the driver, the intent is to hit up on the ball, launch it high, maximize that carry distance, sweeping it off the tee.
Wow, okay. Just laying out those setup differences side by side really clarifies why trying to swing a driver like an iron just doesn't work. Different address, different impact goal.
Exactly.
What about the swing path, the plane itself? Is it the same basic swing, just tilted differently because of the setup?
Not really, no. The overall swing plane feels different, too. An iron swing tends to be more vertical, more up and down, you could say, to facilitate that downward strike.
Uh-huh.
A driver swing, on the other hand, is much more rounded off. It's shallower. People often compare it to a baseball swing.
A baseball swing, that's a great visual, more around the body.
Precisely. That difference in plane is vital for hitting the driver well.
Is there a good drill to help get that rounded feel, especially for those of us who fight coming over the top, that outside-in slice move?
Yeah, there's a great one, sometimes called the around-the-body drill. You start by holding the driver parallel to the ground, like waist high,
Okay.
and just swing it around your body like a baseball bat. Really feel that horizontal rotational movement.
Right.
Then take another swing, but lower the club maybe a foot. Same feeling, swing it around. Keep lowering it a foot or so with each swing, maintaining that same round feeling until you get down to where the ball would be.
Ah, I see. So you're ingraining the feeling of swinging around, not down.
Exactly. The key is to keep that rounded, shallow sensation all the way down. It helps fight that urge to chop down from the outside and encourages swinging more from the inside, hitting up on the ball. The common mistake is reverting to hitting down as you get lower. Resist that.
That makes a lot of sense. It's fascinating how, okay, maybe some feelings like the takeaway might be similar, but the whole setup, the macro swing plane, it's just fundamentally different for irons and drivers. You can't just use one swing thought for everything.
You really can't. Understanding those distinct needs for each type of club is huge for improving consistency across the board. It's about adapting yourself to the club in your hands, not forcing one swing onto all of them.
Okay, so now you've got a better handle on what might need fixing with your irons and how to set up differently for your driver versus your irons. But here's the million-dollar question for a lot of us. Can you really change a swing habit that's been baked in for years Is it even possible? And if you know what to do, how do you practice effectively to make those changes actually stick?
Ah, the relearning challenge. It's real.
Yeah. So for this, we looked at some incredible insights from two legends, John Daly and Tiger Woods. Their journeys offer some fascinating perspectives on this very thing.
Let's start with John Daly. His story is pretty amazing regarding learning and, maybe surprisingly, relearning. He was mostly self-taught.
Largely, yeah.
He apparently learned a lot of his basics, his interlocking grip, how to hit fades and draws from Jack Nicklaus's cartoon golf lessons in Golf Digest.
No way. Cartoon.
Yeah. Which just goes to show lessons can come from anywhere, right? And visual aids can be incredibly powerful for learning movements, even complex ones.
That's wild. And Daly, famous for that massive long backswing, coaches must have told him constantly that it was wrong.
Oh, for sure. But he famously refused to change it, said it came from using his dad's uncut clubs as a kid. He just stuck with, quote, the only swing I know.
Stubborn. But wait, didn't he make a huge change later on?
He did, and this is where the relearning part is so compelling. For something like 31 of his first 34 years playing, Daly hit a draw. That was his shot.
Perfect.
Then, quite late in his career, he intentionally switched to hitting a cut shot, a fade, as his go-to.
Why and how?
He said he discovered a cutting feel while practicing one-handed chips with just his left hand. He realized it helped him avoid the left side of the course, which was often trouble for him. So he made a conscious decision to change his fundamental shot shape to improve his scores.
Wow. After 30 years of hitting a draw?
Exactly. It proves that massive swing changes are possible, even after decades. If you have a clear reason, a specific intention, and you find a feel that works for you.
That's actually really encouraging for anyone trying to change something. What about Daly's practice? Anything we can learn there? He wasn't exactly known as a range rat in the traditional sense.
His philosophy is unique, definitely focused on scoring. He apparently dedicates numerous hours to his short game. Says when he's home, he often only hits balls from 100 yards and in. Lots of chipping and putting.
Makes sense. Power is great, but scoring happens around the greens.
Right. He believes you need both power and a short game to win. And he uses those one-handed drills we mentioned. Before tournaments, hitting 10, 20 balls with a wedge using only his left hand.
Why the left hand only?
He says it strengthens that lead arm, improves control, helps with feel on three-quarter shots, and really teaches you what solid, crisp impact feels like. Says that feels good, the takeaway is probably right. He even does one-handed putting drills for follow-through.
Interesting. Very specific, feel-based drills. Not just bashing balls. I also liked reading about his work on something mentality during tough rounds.
Yeah, that's a great mental tip. Instead of getting mad or giving up, which he admitted he used to do.
I think we can all relate.
Right, yeah. If things are going badly, he tries to focus on fixing one specific thing, or just grinding out a par on the next hole after a bogey. It keeps him engaged, finding value even when he's not playing his best.
That's a good takeaway, and we have to mention his famous line.
Ah, yes. I don't work out, I put out. His humorous takes suggesting maybe all the intense modern gym work isn't essential for golf longevity, maybe even hinders flexibility, definitely goes against the grain.
Definitely a character. Okay, let's switch to Tiger Woods, a master of precision, constantly tinkering, adapting. What can we learn from him about making changes?
Well, Tiger was naturally more of a sweeper, hit the ball high, but he intentionally learned to hit down on the ball for certain shots, especially irons, for control. Again, showing that willingness to adapt your natural tendencies.
Right, adapting for control.
But his driver insights are particularly interesting, especially regarding control versus pure distance. We usually think driver hit up, max distance,
Always.
launch it. But Tiger often hits down on his driver, maybe 0 to 2 degrees down, specifically when he needs to hit a controlled cut or just get the ball in play on a tight hole.
Down? On a driver, that sounds completely wrong. How does that even work?
It's for control, not max distance. To hit this fairway finder or stinger, he tees the driver very low. Like, it looks almost like he's hitting it off the deck.
Super low T. Okay.
Teeing it low forces a shallower angle of attack. It helps him feel like he's staying on top of the ball and encourages him to swing more out to the left for a righty. The result isn't maximum yards, but a much tighter dispersion. The shots land closer together, more consistency. He might even hit it slightly off the heel on purpose for this shot.
Wow. Trading distance for extreme accuracy by changing tee height and attack angle. That's advanced thinking.
It's precise technique for a specific outcome. It shows hitting up isn't the only way.
What about fairway woods? Hitting those off the deck can be tough. Any Tiger tips there?
Yeah, for hitting woods off the fairway, especially hitting them higher with control, he advised feeling like you swing your hands more left through impact towards imaginary pine trees way left of the target.
Swing left. Won't that cause a pull?
You also need to keep your left hip back, sort of clearing it out of the way. This creates room for the club to exit left without coming over the top or getting too steep. It promotes that better, slightly sweeping strike needed for fairway woods.
Create space. Swing left. Okay. You know, what really stands out from both Daly and Tiger is this idea of developing a reliable go-to shot.
Absolutely.
Like Daly finding his cut, or Tiger having that low-teed fairway finder. A shot they can trust under pressure instead of just hoping for the best on every swing. That feels like a huge part of consistency and, frankly, managing the mental game.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it underlines that relearning, finding your shot, is possible. That ability to trust something specific when things get tight, that's a hallmark of great players, and it's something every golfer can work towards with focused, intentional practice. It might mean changing old habits, but the payoff in confidence is huge.
So wrapping this all up, what does it mean for your game? Well, we've looked at fixing those fundamental iron mistakes, the sway, the lack of width, the shoulder plane, actionable stuff there for more consistency.
We've definitely clarified the crucial differences between iron and driver setups and swings, hopefully demystifying why you might struggle with one club but not the other.
And we've tapped into the mindset, the practice habits of legends like Daly and Tiger. They show us that, yes, relearning is possible with the right effort. And effective practice isn't just about volume. It's about having intention, finding the right feel.
Yeah, this deep dive really aims to give you a shortcut to being better informed about your own swing. There are some surprising facts in there, insights that go beyond the usual tips. It proves that while golf is complex, getting better might be clearer than you think.
So here's a final thought to take with you. Given everything we've discussed today, setup changes, different swing feels, focused practice drills, what single, small change could you experiment with next time you're out there? Maybe in your setup, maybe in how you practice for 10 minutes. And how might that one simple, intentional shift start unlocking a new level of confidence, a new level of consistency in your game?
Because at the end of the day, golf is all about continuous learning, tweaking, adapting. And sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the smallest adjustments.